to everyone. Welcome to UP SikLab Launch. We are just waiting for some speakers, then we will start. For the meantime, kindly read our gentle reminders. Thank you for having you this morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the University of the Philippines Saliksik Laboratory UP SikLab Launch. Happy Friday to everybody. I hope you are all safe. And thank you for joining us this morning. I am Samantha Lakap, your Master of Ceremony for today's UP Saliksik Lab Launch. We will start with the singing of our national anthem. Just a few reminders before we move forward. Kindly rename using the format that we have shared earlier. Also, mute yourself when you're not speaking to avoid disrupting the program. Turn off your video until you're called upon. Also, raise your hand if you wish to speak. Later, during the forum, use the Q&A tab for questions, and the program will be recorded and posted on UP SikLab's Facebook page. And lastly, everyone is encouraged to stay until the end of the program. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. At this moment, I would like to acknowledge some of the persons that are joining us this morning. I would like to acknowledge the presence of the University of the Philippines President, Danilo L. Concepcion, also the University of the Philippines Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Cynthia Bautista. We also have this morning, Dr. Richard Abendan, the Stride Program Chief of Party. We also have Mr. Dominic Barnacrea, the Stride Institutionalization Manager. And also joining us for this morning, we have the Undersecretary for Research and Development, Ms. Rowena Cristina Guevara, the PSHERD Director, Sir Enrico Parinit. We also have the Picard, from Picard, Dr. Reynaldo Ebora, and from PSHERD RITTD, Chief Russell Keeley. We also have, of course, the Director, Mary Sylvette Gunigundo. Good morning po, to everyone here. All right. At this juncture, to start off our program on our event this morning, may we call on the University of the Philippine System President, Danilo L. Concepcion, for some welcoming remarks. Good morning, sir. I am now turning the microphone over to you.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to the launch of the UP Saliksik Laboratory. Let me express our university's gratitude to the USAID STRIDE program for approving our proposal to set up this START Center in UP. We named the UP Saliksik Laboratory after Saliksik, the Filipino word for research. Shortened, it is UP SikLab, taking off from the word SikLab, which means in Filipino, spark. We are continuing and building upon the STRIDE program's START series. Our aim is to spark research ideas by providing the tools and helping develop the skills researchers need beyond the actual conduct of research, the before and after, so to speak, from looking at the purpose of the studies all the way to technology transfer. This is because research has expanded from research idea, conduct, and publication to patenting and commercializing. At the end, the resulting technologies bring them to people, communities, and markets that benefit them. But before research work can begin, it has to be approved and funded. A great idea is by no means a guarantee of successful funding support, especially from external sources. The latest available data from the National Institutes of Health, for instance, shows a 20.5% success rate for research grants in 2017. This despite the reviewers marking the unsuccessful proposals as excellent. There is such a thing as getting the funding from the most appropriate sources through a well-written and carefully planned research proposal. In our country, the Department of Science and Technology finds itself in a peculiar situation. The OST Secretary Fortunato de la Peña has declared often that there are many research grants available in the country. However, the agency receives only a few proposals, of which even a fewer number get approved. UP SikLab hopes to guide our researchers in boosting their confidence and in strengthening their capabilities, in crafting proposals to merit funding support. Researchers, especially project leaders, need management skills as well. Judging by the demand for START courses, one of which is on research management, what Professor Emeritus Lila de Modelan of Loughborough University said in 1996 is still applicable today. That for most researchers, management skills had to be learned on the job through trial and error because there was a dearth of training. that apart from research skills, researchers also need the skills all professionals require to manage themselves, such as time management, presentation, and communication skills, as well as project leadership. And when the research is done and published, what's next for those with successful technological output? I am sure our researchers want their inventions and innovations to be utilized. This is where technology transfer comes in. In his book, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, Professor Peter Drucker said that entrepreneurship is a discipline. And like any discipline, it can be learned. This is the kind of mindset UP SikLab wishes to impart in its training course on technology transfer. That researchers can learn to be entrepreneurs and that practical application is possible for products of research. With the appropriate business models and partners, the work of our researchers can be utilized by industry and society. UP SikLab streamlines the training programs the university has been conducting on research-related skills. By consolidating the initiatives of our existing units, such as the UP TTBDO, Upscale Innovation Hub, and the National Engineering Center, UP will be in a better position to fulfill our mandate as a research university. By making these training programs and courses available to other higher education institutions and research centers, we not only provide better public service, but remain true to our purpose of performing our unique and distinctive leadership in higher education and development. We will not let this pandemic deter our efforts to promote and pursue research. On the contrary, this pandemic would require us more intensive research initiatives to address the problems the pandemic has spawned. UP will continue to help our researchers achieve the success they rightly deserve through UP SikLab. Salamat USAID Tribe. Mabuhay ang UP SikLab. Maraming salamat.
Thank you so much, President Concepcion, for that wonderful message, sir. And of course, thank you as well on behalf of SikLab Lab for this project wouldn't be possible without your unwavering support. Maraming salamat po. A round of virtual applause for President Concepcion. Now, to give us an inspirational message for our audience, may we call on the Commission on Higher Education, SHED Director of the Office of Planning, Research and Knowledge Management, Ms. Mary Sylvette Dunigundo. Good morning, ma'am. I'm turning the microphone over to you.
UP President Danilo Concepcion, Vice President and former CHED Commissioner Cynthia Bautista, DOST Undersecretary Rowena Guevara, Mr. Sean Callahan, Dr. Carla Dimalanta, Dr. Luis Sison, faculty and staff, researchers, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good morning. I congratulate the University of the Philippines for establishing the UP Saliksik Lab collaboration with the USAID Tribe that will provide training workshops on writing research proposals that will have impact and can be commercialized. The Commission on Higher Education is hoping that those who will complete the 2 short-term courses on research and technology transfer can submit their proposals to the Commission for possible funding. The Commission currently has 2 grants programs. The first is the Grants in Aid program for research and innovation projects of faculty members. The Commission can provide a maximum of 10 million pesos for each project. The second is the Grants program for institutional extension projects with a ceiling of 2 million pesos for 1 year. The Commission is hoping that with these grants in aid programs, higher education institutions will be inspired and be enabled to become platforms for research and development, innovation and extension in pursuit of inclusive social and economic development of the country. With the establishment of the UPC Club, the Commission might consider prioritizing the project proposals of faculty who completed the research and technology transfer courses. We expect that UPC Club participants will be able to produce high-quality research project proposals that they will be able to commit to finish on time. I hope the UPC Club will be more successful than the zonal research centers that were put up by the Commission years ago. For the participants, the completion of the courses should not only be part of your resume or to gain points for promotion purposes, but hopefully completion of the courses will really make you the sparks that we need to improve the knowledge-based economy of our nation. On a side note, I just want to share with you, President Danny and Ma'am Cynthia, if in case you are not yet aware, that the UP School of Library and Information Studies is currently helping the Commission in developing a system for the Philippine Citation Index. This partnership contributes to improving the research and development ecosystem of the country. And similar to this type of partnership, I hope a more concrete partnership between UPC Club and CHED can be forged in the future. Thank you very much. Mabuhay ang UP, mabuhay ang UPC Club, mabuhay ang USAID Stride.
Thank you, Director Gunigundo, for that inspiring message. Maraming salamat po. A round of virtual applause for Director Gunigundo. For another inspiring message for this morning, may we call on the Department of Science and Technology, DOST Undersecretary for Research and Development, Ms. Rowena Cristina Guevara. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I'm
Can you
turning
hear
the
me?
microphone over to you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. In the last 5 years, we have noted the rising number of research outputs that made it to the market. The most relevant of which is the Gen Amplify COVID-19 RT-PCR kit from Manila Health Tech, a spin-off from UP Manila. I remember Dr. Destura's text message about a year ago that in 21 days, they would be able to make the kit. The aggressive timeline of 21 days would not have been possible without the molecular biology program of the university, without the Philippine Genome Center, without the dengue kit experience of the group, and most importantly, without the support of the University of the Philippines. Our motto at DOST R&D is that research is not finished until the R&D output reaches the intended user. President Danilo L. Concepcion, Mr. Sean Callahan, Dr. Mary Silvette Gunigundo, Vice President Cinch Bautista, Director Paringit, Director Ebora, Dr. Abendan, Ms. Russell Pili, Dr. Eva, Dr. Vicky, Dr. Ariel, Dr. Carla, Dr. Louis Sison, Dr. Decibel, Dr. Jong, ladies and gentlemen, Team SikLab, magandang agham sa inyong lahat. Good morning. I'm pleased to be part of today's launching of the Saliksik Laboratory, or UP SikLab, a professional development center for Filipino researchers and faculty members. The first two courses of UP SikLab, technology transfer from lab to market and research from concept to impact, are relevant and would help our researchers come up with relevant research, succeed in getting their proposals approved, efficiently implement their R&D projects, transfer their technology after the research, and grow their network of R&D collaborators. In the future, I hope that a course on R&D management will also be developed by UP SikLab, as mentioned by President Danny Con, to help project leaders and program leaders have an easier time in administering their R&D projects, working closely with the accounting office, procurement office, etc., and finishing their R&D projects on time. The University of the Philippines receives the largest share in the DOST Grant in Aid program and has the largest laboratories that were funded by DOST, such as the University Laboratory for Small Satellites and Space Engineering Systems, or UP Ulysses. The niche centers in the regions for R&D, or NICER, on disaster risk reduction and management in health in UP Manila, the NICER on caves ecosystem in UPLB, the NICER on mollusks in UP Visayas, the NICER on environmental informatics in UP Cebu, the NICER on decision support systems in health in UP Mindanao, the PGC Visayas, and the PGC Mindanao. One of the programs under the Science for Change program is the Collaborative Research and Development to Leverage the Philippine Economy, or CRADLE, where industry states the problem to be solved, academe will do the R&D to solve the problem, and the DOST provides funding to the academic institution or the research and development institution. We only ask two things from industry partner. One, 20% contribution in cash or in kind, and two, the promise to adopt the R&D output. Under the CRADLE program, some notable projects are the collaboration between the Batangas Egg Producers Cooperative and the College of Home Economics in UP Diliman for the valorization of low-value chicken eggs. In health, Sugar and Ice and Confections Incorporated and Institute of Food Science and Technology in UPLB collaborated to develop a healthier ice cream with prebiotics and probiotics. Under the aquatic sector, Pascual Pharma Corporation partnered with the Institute of Fish Processing Technology, College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences in UPV to develop easily digestible protein from marine resources. The Department of Mining, Metallurgical and Materials Engineering in UP Diliman, in partnership with three different companies, namely Asian Semiconductor Electronics Corporation, Chamber of Furniture Industries of the Philippines, and Filipinas Oro de Cacao Incorporated, work on the use of plasma coating technology in the semiconductor, furniture, and food sectors, respectively. I'm happy to report that 20 out of 71 CRADLE projects are being implemented by the University of the Philippines, amounting to almost 95.5 million. R&D is in the University of the Philippines Charter, and UPC Club is a timely instantiation of this mandate. I congratulate and thank UP and USAID Stride for the UPC Club, which will accelerate transfer of R&D outputs to the Filipino people and contribute to the country's global competitiveness. Muli, magandang agahan po sa ating lahat.
Thank you. Thank you, Undersecretary Guevara, for that inspiring message. Maraming salamat po. And another virtual round of applause also for Dr. Guevara. So much appreciation for, of course, President Concepcion and Undersecretary Dr. Guevara for kickstarting our launch this morning. May I invite you for a group photo? Please open your video camera. I think, and we also have, of course, Director Mary Silvet, okay, who will be, okay, we'll just affix in the spotlighting. I think Miss Gunigundo also is opening her camera, video camera. We'll just have a moment po. Ayusin lang namin yung ating screen para magkakasama tayo. Are we good? Okay, let's wait. Now I see President Danilo Concepcion opened his camera. So I will be counting down in 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Again po, maraming salamat po. For the next part of our program comes one of the highlights of today's gathering. So let us watch this short video introducing UP SikLab.
Professors do not know how to
Our
commercialize
focus
technology.
is on our students,
We
not
lack
industry.
support for student entrepreneurs.
I don't know who to talk to.
I
at
would
the
like to work
university.
with academia, but I don't know
Working
how.
with academia takes too long.
These are just some of the barriers from the university and industry identified by RTI International. This case could be because industry and academia operate in different realms of technical maturity and scale. Often, these differences can result in silos or friction when working together. While the direct commercialization of existing intellectual property is one mechanism for interacting with industry, building a true innovation ecosystem requires close industry-academia collaboration. This is where the University of the Philippines, Saliksik Lab, or UP SikLab, comes in. Supporting the country's drive for research and development, through science and technology, the University of the Philippines established SikLab, a professional development center for Filipino researchers and faculty members that offers courses designed to help increase the quality and quantity of research output. This project is under the Skills and Technical and Advanced Research Training Center that the U.S. Agency for International Development funds through the Science, Technology, Research and Innovation for Development program. SikLab Center equips Filipino researchers and faculty members to increase the quality and quantity of research output, starting with its pilot workshops. Research, from concept to impact. Technology transfer, from lab to market. Among over thousands of universities worldwide, UP ranks in the top 500 of world university rankings and leads in ASEAN in terms of global research influence. SikLab is one way we are leveraging this expertise and track record. To date, the university has produced 11 spin-off companies, 30 licensed technologies, 14 collaborative researches with industry partners, 29 granted patents, and 45 granted utility models. Let us be part of your research journey. To keep posted of SikLab and our activities, like and follow us on these channels.
All right, thank you, Ms. Diane, for playing the video, and that is UP SikLab. Moving forward to our program, we have today some of the key persons in research and development, and also the people behind SikLab, who will be sharing with us some of their stories in the field. Let us find inspiration from their stories. It is an honor to present each of them to you. We have this morning Dr. Victoria Espaldon, Program Leader of Smarter Approaches to Reinvigorate Agriculture as an Industry in the Philippines, or SARAI, and the Monitoring and Detection of Ecosystem Change for Enhanced Resilience and Adaptation, or the MODESERA. And she is also from the School of Environmental Science and Management in UP Los Baños. We also have Engineer Leo Alentayo, Charging in Minutes Technical Project Leader and CEO of CHRG Incorporated. And he is from the Electrical and Electronics Engineering Institute of the University of the Philippines, Diliman. Together with them, we have Dr. Cecilia Nilia Marambalazete. She will also join us this morning. She is the project leader of Lagundi Anti-Cough and Anti-Asthma Medicine, director of the Institute of Herbal Medicine, National Institute of Health, assistant chair for research in the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology, clinical professor at the Division of Infectious and Tropical Diseases, Department of Pediatrics, and from the College of Medicine, University of the Philippines, Manila. Good morning to our panelists. And for the question and answer portion right after the panelists talk, it will be facilitated by Dr. Louis Sison, co-chair of UP Saliksik Lab, director of UP System, UP Technology Transfer and Business Development Office. He is also the project leader of Upscale Innovation Hub and a professor from UP Diliman Electrical and Electronics Engineering Institute. Good morning to Dr. Levy. Right, panelists, I'm now turning over the microphone to you. Right, I think we can start with Dr. Victoria Hespaldon.
Hello. Can
Morning,
you hear
ma'am.
me? Good
Yes,
morning.
ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I think I have a recorded presentation for the smarter approaches to reinvigorate agriculture as an industry. And I'd like to formally introduce to you our program, which is funded by DOST for 6 years now. And we are currently doing the nationwide deployment of protocols and technologies developed under the program. So, please, Ryan, can you play the video?
Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Dr. Louis, we can hear you po.
Okay. Can you please play the record so I don't have to, I can keep the time? Or do you have some questions already? Luis? Doc Luis, I think we met in Palawan, right? Hello?
We can hear you, ma'am.
Okay. We met so the program Sarai has focused its efforts in developing protocols for our agriculture sector so they can reduce risks to climate hazards and use the state-of-the-art technologies in bringing information to our farmers. Technologies such as the use of remote sensing in predicting, in crop monitoring and forecasting, the use of crop modeling for 9 crops, rice, corn, coconut, banana, coffee and cacao, and we add in the last 3 years, we're working on sugarcane, tomato, and soybean. These are the major crops of the country, and these are our major earners for our farmers and the agriculture sector. Currently, we are deploying technologies such as software for pest identification, the speed tech. It's downloadable by internet, and also the water assisted irrigation system. This is for small farmers, small to medium farmers with at least 5 hectares. And we're also looking at deploying our corn bulletin through DA. The corn bulletin that we're deploying is actually based on the weather outlook produced by two projects, the Enhanced Agriculture Monitoring System using satellites, and the weather outlook also produced by our automatic weather stations centers all over the country. Okay, please play the video, Ryan. Ryan, Ryan, please use the other one, the one that we sent to you yesterday. Sorry for this. the one that we have sent you yesterday. So currently we're into MOA signing with different agencies for the deployment of the technology. Okay, game. Hello everyone, I am Vicky Espaldon, the program leader of Project Saray, or the Smarter Approaches to Reinvigorate Agriculture as an Industry in the Philippines. It is a project led by the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, and funded by the Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resources Research and Development of the Department of Science and Technology. Project Saray is an interdisciplinary research, development, and extension program. It makes use of the advances and innovations in science, information technology, and technical support systems in building a nationwide framework of practical RDE-based solutions and recommendations for the agricultural sector.
The recommended planting date with its corresponding potential yield constitutes the adaptive planting calendar and cropping advisories. Included also are the approximate dates of developmental stages of rice and corn. Consider this cropping advisory last May 2020 for rain-fed rice planting in Echagi, Isabela. It was recommended to start planting by July 28 when the water accumulated in the soil is expected to be sufficient for planting. Furthermore, the crops are expected to be ready for harvest by mid-October to mid-November. However, based on historical records, typhoons usually enter the country around this time, and for the last 2 to 3 years, Isabela is one of the most affected provinces with significant crop loss costing them billions of pesos. The resolution is that we can present other planting dates, such as starting June, with a corresponding expected potential yield, or the use of short duration varieties to lessen the risk of damaging mature crops.
Hello. We can never overemphasize the importance of soils in agriculture. Looking at this website, we have a farmer's farm here, designated by the arrow, and it tells us that the pH of the soil is 4.8. Now 4.8 is a little acidic, and therefore it would require liming. With the help of Saray, we can help farmers determine the fertility level of their soil and also determine the problem, if ever they have, in their field. And we can help them to solve those nutrient problems and ensure that they will have a successful growing period.
Let me now introduce to you the Water Advisory for Irrigation Scheduling System, or WISE. It is a technology developed by Project Saray that aims to instill in farmers the practice of smart irrigation management, that is, applying the right amount of water to crops at the right place and the right time. WISE is composed of a field unit and a computer software. The field unit is comprised of a set of soil moisture sensors, a transmitting data logger, and a 5-volt solar panel. The sensors are installed underground where the crops are planted and are connected to the transmitting data logger, which sends the measurement to the software via text message. In the software, a real-time monitoring of the soil moisture status of the farm is shown. If the moisture content is within the green area, the soil moisture condition is at optimum. If in the yellow area, plant experiences stress, while if the moisture reached the red area, where the plant is under extreme stress and productivity is highly affected. WISE will send an irrigation alert once the moisture content reaches the yellow area. With WISE, you do not need to be always in the field to determine if the field needs irrigation. Aside from daily irrigation advisories to end users, you can also text WISE at the keyword status, and it will respond with the most current irrigation decision advisory. We believe that Filipino farmers can irrigate smarter. With WISE, smarter irrigation is just one text message away.
Project Sarai aims to bring the best tools science and technology can offer to the Filipino farmer. We wanted to provide him additional help aside from his liable carabao. And for this, we chose to give him the satellite. There are hundreds of satellites regularly collecting information from space. This information can be very useful to agriculture. The Philippines now has its own satellites, Iwata 1 and 2. With the use of satellite technology, we can now help our farmer monitor the health of their crops even without going to the field. We can even help him prepare better against drought, flood, and climate change, and even fight more effectively pests and diseases. Farm monitoring from space, what seems to be impossible is now possible with SIMS.
The Drought and Crop Assessment and Forecasting Project was initiated as a response to the risks and impacts of drought in the Philippines. It is implemented by UP Diliman together with DABSWM and DOST Pag-asa under the program Saray. The CAF aims to assess, predict, and mitigate impacts of drought events by developing an index suitable for the detection of agricultural drought. In addition, the CAF uses both statistical and dynamical models to predict drought events 6 months ahead. This serves as an early warning system for decision makers and farmers to mitigate the adverse effects of drought. The CAF gets its data through the use of ground-based and satellite data. The project also conducts ground truthing activities in selected Sarai sites as well as capacity building workshops in partner SUCs.
At Sarai, we have the technologies to monitor weather and crop environment conditions and provide forecasts using the Sarai Real-Time Weather Monitoring System or SRTWMS. The Sarai RTWMS can help farmers plan and decide what to do to minimize their crop production costs and to maximize their crop yields. There are 19 Sarai automatic weather stations installed across the country. These stations were installed together with our partner SUCs in their respective experimental farms. Each station can provide real-time data from the following sensors integrated to the system. The real-time data gathered by the automatic weather stations are made available to the SUCs, LGU partners, and local farmers through the Sarai portal for free. These data are also used to generate 6-day weather forecasts. Just visit the Sarai website at sarai.ph to view real-time weather data and weather forecasts of the Sarai AWS in your area.
Ang SpeedTech ay isang Android application sa pag-identify ng insect pests at diseases ng Sarai-focused crops. May 3 paraan sa paggamit ng pest and disease identification. Una, ang pagsagot sa quiz. Pangalawa, pagkuha ng image gamit ang built-in camera ng cellphone. Pangatlo, pagpili ng image mula sa gallery. Kung nakapili na ng imahe, piliin ang kategory ng classification at ang crop kung saan ito nakita. Magbibigay ito ng 3 posibleng identity at karagdagang impormasyon tungkol sa peste o disease, tulad ng identification signs at management practice. Ang Pest and Disease Library ay compilation ng mga relevant information tungkol sa pest and disease ng bawat Sarai crops. Ang SpeedTech ay isa ring educational platform na magtuturo sa mga users nito ng tamang pamamaraan ng pag-identify at pag-manage ng pests and diseases. Ang SpeedTech ay naasahan ding makatutulong sa remote monitoring ng pest and disease sa bansa. Nagtatala ito ng data tulad ng GPS location kung saan naitala ang resulta, image data at top results for validation at timestamp. Maaari nang i-download ang SpeedTech mula sa Google Play Store, i-search lamang ang SpeedTech mula sa search bar o sa Sarai portal at www.sarai.ph.
By visiting the Sarai Knowledge Portal, agriculturists and extension workers can have basis for crop advisories and recommendations for rice, corn, banana, coconut, coffee, cacao, sugarcane, soybean, and tomato.
On the other hand, The knowledge and capacity building component of Sarai launched its Sarai Escuela, a series of online trainings on smarter technologies, practices, and innovations for agriculture. The goals are to train our target stakeholders such as the agricultural technicians and municipal agricultural officers on the Sarai developed technologies, data products, and systems, and to promote its usage and adoption.
Through the assistance of different government agencies and SUCs across the region, Sarai-generated knowledge can be disseminated much faster and wider to develop an army of farmers who are confident at making science-based farming decisions. We ask you to link with the Project Sarai movement and join the pack of champions in engendering a climate-smart Philippine agricultural sector for the sake of our future generations.
So that is some of the products of Sarai. We're lining it up for, tama yung sinabi kanina ni Yusek Gev, until magamit itong ating mga technology, the research is not yet complete. So this is our last year, and we're into deployment and training mode in different regions in the country. And we're doing it to the DOST regional offices, DA regional offices, LGUs, and private cooperatives. Yun po yung status ngayon ng Sarai. We are also doing the patenting, yung mga pwedeng i-patent, and we already applied for copyrights of the training modules. We're working with ATI, DA ATI, to put it, mainstreamed or integrated in their training programs. So, yun yung namin ngayon, status. It's not success story. Medyo na-overwhelm naman ako ng success story. Siguro ito yung positive stories pa. Hindi pa talaga yung success, but we're moving. We're trying, and may mga ilan-ilan ng mga results na nagti-trickle in. Medyo mabagal, sa tingin ko mabagal, but I think that's the process.
Right. Thank you po, Dr. Victoria Espaldon, for sharing.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to you, to SikLab. We will see siguro each other more often, especially that we have built a network of SUCs in the country. We have now 16 SUCs committed to propagating and promoting Sarai in their respective regions.
Yes, thank you po again. Maraming salamat po. Okay, virtual applause din sa ating Dr. Victoria Espaldon. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So, sorry, medyo kinakabahan din ako.
It's okay, ma'am.
This is the
All right,
first
so
time.
before we proceed with our program, I would like to announce po now we will be transferring a Zoom meeting. We will be sending the link. We have just shared the link. Kindly click on the link to enter our new meeting room. Right, so we will proceed. We will resume our program at 10:05. So we have 5 minutes to prep again on our new meeting room. Thank you. Once again, we will be transferring a Zoom meeting link. We have just shared the link on the chat. Kindly click on it po to enter the new meeting room. Thank you. For the rest of the participants still here, again, we are announcing that we will be transferring a new meeting room. Kindly click on the link present in the chat so you can enter the new meeting room. Thank you. Hello to our attendees still here in this meeting room. We have a new meeting link sent on chat. Please kindly click on that so you can enter our new meeting room. Thank you.